welcome to Sport Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Kingsley Emmanuel, and I'm very, very happy to be here this evening to bring you up to speed with the latest revolving around the world of sport. On our menu today, we shall take a look at the heavyweight boxing bouts between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, as well as the final day the Premier League final day match. And to tell you, it promises to be an exciting one today. We have a lot for you, so we urge you to sit tight as we're very ready to take you 360 around the world of sport. To take a short break, and when we'll come back from this break, we'll bring you all that you need to know revolving around the world of sport. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Get ready! As Morrison Communications Limited proudly presents Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Arts. La Small Hotel and Resorts, number 9, Room Calagbo off Waterlines, Basta, Port Harcourt.
On Saturday, May 25th, starting at 8 a.m. into school match pass competition,
Dance competition, drama competition. Parents, teachers and children alike, don't miss out on the fun with Uncle Clown bouncing castle as we cut the children's day cake. Admission is just 2,000 naira per child. For participation and sponsorship opportunities, call us now 0806 673 8689
and 0810 634 177.
This event is proudly sponsored by the La Small Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Harcourt, Lesuka Event Center, Gate Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Osgia Table Water.
remember that every child is unique. See you there. This event is managed by Peace Expressions Arts.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokubo, Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Greenwoods went for goal. Goalkeeper missed it. Fight him. He does a right hand and down goes Paul straight away. Oh, what a point to end it on. So now this is when you're at the best. That's when they're 12 years for this. So drink it in. Still goes to Ireland. Well, he loves to be immortality as an athlete. 19.79. It's a goal. It's 8 goals.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all the sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. Honourable human trafficker. Honourable
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
No agreement with the EU, but
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Welcome back to Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network. Of course, so like I said, we have a lot for you today, and we're really ready, of course, to unravel all that you need to know revolving around the water sport, because a lot to you, Michael, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good evening to you, Kings, and viewers out there. Always a pleasure doing this with you.
Palibo joins us as well this evening. Palibo, good to have you.
Yeah, good evening, Kingsley Emmanuel. It's a wonderful time to be here once again. I'm so happy to be here again.
All right, gentlemen, let's quickly move on as we take a look at what's happening as well at the moment. Talking about the preparation for Nigeria ahead of the Olympic Games. Now, following our second place in the 2024 Atlanta City Games, Nigeria's track star Toby Amusan has said she is not under pressure to win a gold medal at the Olympics. Amusan finished in the second place behind Americans Kedra Harrison in the early hours of Sunday. While speaking to the Making of Champions after the race, the American-based athlete made it clear that she is just executing her plan accordingly. Michael, what do you make of it? A lot of expectation on Toby Amusan, at least, to get a gold medal at the Paris Olympic game. And from what we're hearing at this point, she's saying that she's not under pressure in winning a gold medal at the Olympic Games.
Yes, I think for me, Toby Amusan is very, very tactful and very professional. For me, she's just trying to take off the pressure on her head because of the high expectation that is reposed on her. So for me, I think she need not be under any pressure whatsoever to deliver out there. We've also seen the impressive record of Toby Amusan. We know what Toby Amusan can do on a very good day. So for me, I think it's good that she's trying to ward off some of this pressure off her neck before the Paris Olympic game officially kicks off.
Let's see how it goes. We hope, of course, she'll be able to go down to the Paris Olympic game and be able to put up a very, very impressive performance going forward. Let's start away from that as we take a look at tennis, as world number one Iga Swiatek again got the better of Arina Sabalenka, winning in straight set to take the Thailand Open title. Swiatek won the thriller against the world number two earlier this month in the Madrid Open final. The 22-year-old dominated Sabalenka, winning 6-2, 6-3 to secure her 21st career title. After he took the Thailand Open title in 4 years, having not dropped his sets in the 2024 edition, Swiatek heads to the French Open as defending champion. Ipalibo, what do you make of the dominance of Iga Swiatek, so far this season?
Iga Swiatek has been really, phenomenal, and she has been up to par and up to task when it comes to every other competition. We saw her last week, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, at the Madrid Open, and she was able to defeat same Arina Sabalenka. And when you look at her her walk to the Italian Open finals. She met the likes of Coco Gauff in the semi-finals, and getting to the final, she met world number 2 Arina Sabalenka, and she wasn't able to ward off the pressure from Arina Sabalenka, to win the Italian Open. It's not just a main feat for Iga Swiatek, looking at where she has come from and how she has been able, to handle pressure at a young age, being world number 1 for such a very long time. The likes of Ons Jabeur, Coco Gauff, now Arina Sabalenka, all on her back, for her to drop, that number 1 spot in the WTA rankings. But still, she has still proved to be, really, really successful with how she's been able to carry out, her duties. She has not been under pressure. She has been able, to play her game with cool head, and look at the way she was able to beat Arina Sabalenka, who has the experience. I don't think anybody currently in the game has the experience Arina Sabalenka has, and she's still able to beat Arina Sabalenka, twice in the same month, to win the WTA's Open. So I think Iga Swiatek has been really, really fantastic, and she deserves to be world number 1.
Michael, what do you make of Iga Swiatek, and talking about the WTA? Before, we used to talk about competition in the WTA, but this time we're seeing dominance at this point, coming from Iga Swiatek. Is it that there is no high level of competition anymore in the WTA?
I wouldn't want to agree with that. There's still high level of competition within the WTA. Just as some of these players, they don't just live up to the occasion when it matters most. That is not to say that there is no high level of competition within the WTA. I just think that Iga Swiatek is on a wall of her own right now, and that is why I look as though she's having it more like a roller coaster ride for her. Taking a look at her impressive record so far, she still remains the only player so far this season. I've not dropped any single set. I think for me it's very, very impeccable record for her. And then again, this is her third in Thailand Open. Yes, her third in Thailand Open in 4 years, which is very, very impressive for me. I just think that she's just on a class of her own. That is why I look as though other WTA players is not giving her that run for her money. But I tell you, there are still competition, high level of competition within the WTA, and I believe that other players also, such as Zverev, Coco Gauff, Ons Jabeur, they can also live up to the billing by making sure that they give Iga Swiatek a run for her money, so that at least we don't continue to see this long-time dominance where Iga Swiatek have actually maintained that top spot for a quite long time.
All right, away from the female category, Alexander Zverev produced a dominant serving display to clinch a straight sets victory over Nicolas Jarry and claim his second Italian Open title. The German third seed dropped just 5 points on serve in his rivals ahead of the French Open, which begins on 26th of May. This point, and we'll see how far, of course, he'll be able to go up this point in time. But talking about Nicolas Jarry, competing in his first final at this level, the world number 24 had knocked out 6 seeds from Tsitsipas and the quarterfinals, but why he battled hard to stay in the match, he had no answer to his opponent's arrow-like serve as Zverev landed 80% of his first serve in at that particular one. But let's stay away from tennis this evening as we take a look at the heavyweight boxing bout between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Of course, was really an impressive one where we saw the man Tyson Fury, of course, Usyk, I beg your pardon, taking down Tyson Fury in that particular one. But joining us as well this evening to take a look at the boxing bouts is Gogo Orinemi. He's a boxing expert. Gogo, good evening to you and welcome to the show. Okay, Yemi, good evening to you. All right, we'll try and again to hear from Gogo. We hope that the audio will be better for we to hear from him. Let's see if we can make that connection right, and we'll establish the connection as well with Gogo this evening. But Michael, let me start with you. What do you make of the performance of Alexander Usyk on the day? Talking about the judges' scorecard, ended 115 to 12, 112, 114 to 113, 114 to 113 in favor of Fury in that particular one. Now, what do you make of the performance of Usyk on the day?
First, let me use the word of Tyson Fury. We give God thanks for the performance of Alexander Usyk, who for me is a true champion. I mean, he deserves all the accolades, he deserves the praise that he's receiving right now, because coming up against such heavy Goliath standing before you, look as though it is David fighting against Goliath, taking a look at their body size and the tallness as well. So for me, I think it's an impressive feat for Alexander Usyk, who also showed resilience. He showed that he has what it takes. I mean, the stamina, the energy is one thing that you can't take away from Alexander Usyk. Right from the first round, he was able to carry on. He never slowed down in his pace. His energy was top. He tried to even seclude himself away from his family for about 3 months, preparing so hard for this fight. And it tells you of such a man that has a big heart. He went as far as going to the swimming pool to do some of his training regimen, and that is how difficult, and that is the line of his madness, his leg work, his body movement. On a day, I think he truly deserves all the accolade that he's receiving right now. But for me, I also think that Alexander Usyk, because of his showboating and all those antics, couldn't help him, because he was on a front foot in round 1 down to round 6.
That's the theory you mean?
Yes. I expected him to finish off the game at most round 6, but he allowed some of those intrigues to get off his head, and he faltered, and that is why Usyk had to take the better part of round 8, round 9, round 10, 11, and 12. He finished it off. If not for the judge and the bell, I think it should have been a complete knockout. He wouldn't have waited for the judges to even use a unanimous decision to give out the result out there. But then, in all, I think Alexander Usyk truly deserved the victory, because he gave everything that needed to be given on a day. So I think for me, big congratulations to him.
Big congratulations to Alexander Usyk. Let's see if we can establish that connection once again with Gogo Orinemi. Gogo, are you there? Well, good evening to you. Are you there? I was still struggling to hear from Gogo. But Ipalibo, let me also get down to you as well. What do you make of Fury's, thoughts after the bout? He said he would have, that he won the game, that he actually dominated most of the rounds in that particular one, but that the judges are just being a little bit emotional or sentimental. That is because there is war currently ongoing in Ukraine, and that's why people are just being emotional to Usyk at this point in time. I don't know if you agree with the thought of Fury after that particular bout.
For me, I think Fury was just being a sore loser. It has always been his thing, not always being able, to succumb when you have been defeated. I mean, sometimes when you have been defeated, you just need to accept it, that you have been defeated, and try to learn from your mistakes. I mean, Anthony Joshua was in the same situation with Alexander Usyk, and he had to learn from his mistakes. He, actually got into his next fight and was able to win. So when you look at the case of Tyson Fury, when you watch that game carefully, you saw that the only time where Tyson Fury had an advantage over Usyk was the first round, and after the first round, I think it was more like it was an equal bout. But going into the 6th to 7th round, it was dominated by Usyk. He gave his all, was able to, despite the disadvantages on the advantages to Fury. You look at Fury, a 6-foot-tall boxer, someone who has large experience. You're fighting against someone who just came from the cruiserweight into the heavyweight division, and he was able to beat you, because of how technical it was. So I think Usyk was better off than Tyson Fury. Maybe we'll get to see the better of Tyson Fury, in the rematch.
All right, at this point, we'll take a short break, and we'll come back from this break. We'll try and see if we can get the opinion of the boxing expert talking about Gogo Orinemi. We'll be right back after the short break.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, Through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today.
Like the way they take
Gogo, are you there?
Greenwood's went for goal. Goalkeeper's missed it.
like again. See Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network, and of course,
a connection, but good to go.
All right, let's move straight. What do you make of the bouts over the weekend? We saw how Lazara Usyk, of course, dismantled Tyson Fury on the day. What do you make of the performance, from the man from Ukraine?
And I would say it was a very good fight, and it lived up to expectations. And one of the biggest part of boxing was Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. And it lived up to expectation, but on the other hand, it was disappointing because one man only came to the party, and that was Terence Crawford. And then Errol Spence was in La La Land, he was in limbo. In this fight, both guys came to the party to fight, and that was what made it interesting. For the first 2 rounds, I would call it the first 3 rounds was tight. But after the first 3 rounds, Tyson Fury took over. And when Tyson Fury took over, he gave Usyk some body punches, some uppercuts that hurt him so bad. And there are rumors that Usyk broke his jaw, even though his manager has come out to dispel it. Deep down, we know there was some serious damage because the way he was reacting to those uppercuts and body shots, he was getting hurt. I think he was the first one to draw blood on the canvas. All of a sudden, the beautiful thing we know about Usyk is he has the power of a second wind. He can come back even when things are not going his way. I remember in the 9th round, coincidentally, when Anthony Joshua gave him his best, it looks like he had, but AJ didn't have the gas tank to pursue it. What did Alexander Usyk do when he came back? He went all gun blazing, almost finished Anthony Joshua. The same script was written, but this time he was the one almost doing the finishing. So with this fight, you have nothing but to respect the both of them, because I think what we do in the world of boxing is the reason why we don't see this fight anymore. 2 fighters with no defeat on their record, someone has to go, but at the same time, when the person loses his don't disrespect the person. The world of boxing, we are very quick to slay our champions and render them useless into the outer world. No. The fact that this fight happened, both guys committed to it, so they deserve every amount of respect. But on the fight itself, I would say Alexander Usyk showed that it is not by size. The scripture will say it's not by power of mind. Alexander Usyk said it's not by power, it's not by length, it is not by height. It is by skill, it is by technique, it is by endurance, and it's by being a superior boxer. And he showed on that day that a small man can beat a big man if the small man has the skill to do so. It was a very interesting fight and entertaining one, and believe you me, Tyson Fury has so much to do if he wants the rematch to go in a different direction. Because if he doesn't, now, I don't have any issue with showboating, and I will not say it is the reason he lost. But the truth of the matter is, if you are seeing the eyes of Alexander Usyk, you will see a man that is ready to go to war. A man that is not interested in your kick cards, showboating. Time to be Muhammad Ali will come, but not when you are facing an opponent that is staring at you in the face, not flinching, waiting for you to make a mistake so that he's going to bounce. 1, he's very skillful. 2, he's a southpaw. 3, he has a mad speed and recovers very fast. You're dealing with this type of person. When you hurt him, capitalize on it. Anthony Joshua did not capitalize. You two did not capitalize. That's how you guys ended up losing when you were in a good position. When you hurt Usyk and show you have enough gas tank to follow through. I say this is contender for one of the fights of the year, and we can't wait for the rematch in October because it will be a Magdalene fight.
All right, let's also talk about Tyson Fury Gogo. Prior to the match, of course, in the weigh-in, he actually lost a lot of weight. Do you think that also contributed to his performance on the day?
Some fighters will tell you they don't look at weight. All they do is they train in shape, and whatever weight they come in with is good. Tyson Fury, coincidentally, I was following a journalist that said he no longer works with the comeback and he was still with Ben Davison. He has gone back to that nutrition. Why? There must be a reason. Now he lost, so most persons will say the reason was not good, but I think he was looking for something. He didn't get it because being in a good shape is not enough. You can be chiseled, with so much muscle, dealing with Alexander Usyk, got so much not to do with your physique. It has to do with your skill, your endurance, your power, and your ability to hurt him. So his weight, I think, was okay. But the truth of the matter is you need more than a good weight to beat Usyk. You need stamina. And by the 8th round, Fury was gassing. Fury was gassing for, and Fury is someone that is known for stamina. But the beautiful thing about fight, the dangerous thing, or the beautiful side of fighting someone like Alexander Usyk, what he uses to dispel you is his footwork. You can hardly hit him clean. And when you hit him clean, he pressures you into a corner to keep hitting and missing. He is always moving. So it's a very difficult thing. So I would say that in Fury, no matter the weight you are coming with, in fact, I say if you are coming with more weight, you would have got back earlier and the fight would have ended sooner.
All right, Gogo, we saw what happened in the bout between Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. Ngannou almost knocked him out, of course, in that particular bout. And even in this particular one as well, Usyk also almost knocked him out, if not because of the ring, that actually helped him as well. What do you make of, Fury's performance in the last two bouts? You think the man has dropped in terms of performance?
This performance is better than Ngannou's performance. In the eyes of the world, they lost in Ngannou fight. I also think it's 50-50, and there's a 55% chance he won based on, he did more of the punches and all that. This fight, his performance was better. But the truth is, an upgrade on fighting Ngannou is not enough to defeat Usyk. Tyson Fury has been dropped several times. I think he was caught badly by Otto Wally, maybe dropped by Pianetta. He's been dropped several times. So he was dropped a couple of times by John Wilder in their first and second fight. And most likely in their third, I think in the first and third fight. But he has been dropped a couple of times. So Tyson Fury being dropped to the canvas is not new. But the truth of the matter is, for the person that has never left a globe of boxing in his life, only done mixed martial arts, to drop you on the canvas in his first fight, and against Usyk, you look a little bit leggy and all the rest. Maybe it is a sign of things to come. Maybe there's no light at the end of the tunnel, like he has hit his peak in the trilogy against George Wilder. If you ask any fighter, any boxer, they will tell you, whenever you step into the ring, something leaves your body and you drop something in the ring. You never come out the same. Sometimes we believe these fighters are invisible, but no matter the accumulation and damage they take, it has a ripple effect. Joe Joyce, for instance, was seen as a man that has a fantastic chin. You will hit him, they call him Valdemar. Whenever you hit him, which he doesn't drop it, all of a sudden, continuous hit, 1 point from Jimmy Chance, and he was on the floor, he matched the same punch. Beautifully left hook, he could not stop it. So no matter how good your chin is as a boxer, if you don't guard it properly, you are going to get caught. And he's watching him, and the amount of indiscipline he showed in that fight was alarming. Keeping your hands down to fight Usyk, someone that is known as the cat, is a disrespect to Usyk, and Usyk made him pay. So I would say, in terms of form, he has dropped, but I don't think it is the end totally. But the rematch, if he takes it, is going to tell where we are with Tyson Fury, if he is over, or it's truly the end of his career. With all said and done, I will still put him in a top 40 some PC heavyweight in boxing because he has done well for himself. In this modern era, he has also done well for himself. We will not forget his fight against Klitschko. We will not forget his 3 fights against Wilder. He has done well for himself, but at the same time, it looks like he's on a decline, and he can be a very sharp one.
All right, let's talk about the rematch, Gogo. You are a boxing expert, and let's hope that Tyson Fury, of course, is listening or watching us at this moment. We'll talk about the rematch. We've seen the progress of the undisputed heavyweight champion of this generation, which is Alexander Usyk. At this point in time, from the cruiserweights down to the heavyweights, the man has been undefeated and putting up some impressive performance, in the ring. If you, what do you make of Usyk at this point in time? We're talking about rematch, and Tyson Fury is hoping, of course, to get him down in the rematch. If you're in a position to advise Fury on how to knock down or maybe beat Usyk at this point, what will you tell him? Maybe in the rematch, what will you tell Fury?
In Fury, if you can listen, Sugar Stewart is a legendary trainer. I'm not sure you would need any advice from me right now, but it was pretty simple. When you have the momentum against this take, once beaten, twice shy. You've seen it. You've been there. You've done that. You know if you hurt this guy, he can. Now, there are some fighters during their prime where you hit them with everything and they never get hurt. No, that is not Usyk. Usyk has been hurt a couple of times. You probably even hurt him more than Derek Chisora did, which is the more hurt he has faced in his career. So when you hurt him, have the stamina to capitalize on it. Throw the kitchen sink at Usyk. Usyk for me is like Thanos. How do you do with Thanos? You cut his head off. If you give him a chance to recuperate, he's going to recuperate so bad. And another thing you will need to work on is his stamina. Because by 8th round, he was blowing out his ass. He needs to recuperate that. Find a way to get a new strength and conditioning coach. Be in a better shape than he was. Bully this man around the ring. Usyk is difficult to be bullied. Chisora is the only person that tried to bully him. So he will need to do more of that. And then, yes, and pray. And just, now he will need a whole lot of prayer to go with him because Usyk is tough. Usyk is a tough man. So when you hurt him real bad, and hopefully he has a bad night. Because it's difficult for this rematch to go any other way than Usyk getting a victory the second time.
All right, Gogo, thank you very much for the time. We really do appreciate your incisive analysis on this one.
Thank you very much. It's been a Mazalin one. The network tried to hold us back for because
we're able to pray and overcome it.
yeah. God did.
All right. Thank you very much, Gogo, for that exciting one. He just said that Fury has to pray very hard going into the next bout, Palibo. What do you make of it? You know, Fury has been so much, glue to God, even before the bout, even after the bout as well. I think maybe he really have to get more closer.
He has been doing that a lot, he has been praying a lot lately, even after losing the bout, he prayed. And for someone who is known as a gypsy king,
he has to pray more this time. Maybe he has to add fasting to it.
Yes, someone who is known as a gypsy king, it's ironic for you to see him, praying a whole lot. But, everybody has their beliefs, but it's not just enough for you to hold on to your beliefs. I think he has to put in more work, if he wants to beat Alexander Usyk.
All right, let's stay away from that as we take a look at the beautiful world of football. We saw a very impressive action in the Premier League over the weekend. And no longer news that Manchester City, of course, are champions for the 2023 and 2024 English Premier League season. But at this point in time, I want to take a look at Arsenal Football Club at the moment. Michael, after that victory for Manchester City over the weekend, Manchester City player Rodri came out to say that that Arsenal mentality, cost them, the title this season. What do you make of, the statement from Rodri?
Absolutely. I think I want to toe the line of Rodri, because Arsenal, for me, I think they have, they lack that, champion, mentality, and that is what actually cost Arsenal the trophy last season and even this season. Some persons talked about the fact that last season is as a result of lack of squad depth that actually cost the Arsenal, but I do not want to agree. I think we need to be very clear right now that it's not as a lack of squad depth. It is because of the fact that they lack the winning mentality, just like Rodri said out there. Because how many of these Arsenal players have tested, big-time success, big-time victory? It's about 2 or 3 of those players. Maybe you mentioned the likes of Kai Havertz, which other player, Jorginho of Chelsea, then again Declan Rice that they just got last season, and immediately they acquired these three players that have the winning mentality. You saw their performance improve last season, and that is why they were able to give Manchester City a run for their money also this season. So I think the injection of these 3 players that brings in this champion mentality have actually helped Arsenal a lot. If not, I tell you, Arsenal, I think their lack of champion mentality, have actually cost them the game. Because take a look at the way Arsenal play. They play an entertaining game. Yes, everybody fell in love with their, pattern of play. But football is beyond entertainment. You need to have something tangible to show for it. It's not all about entertainment. No wonder some time ago, Jose Mourinho actually call Arsene Wenger the specialist in failure, because you can't actually be entertaining the world in terms of playing a pattern and all of that. And at the end of it all, you don't cap it off with something very tangible. So for me, I believe lack of champion mentality, lack of that winning mentality in Arsenal, that is what actually cost them the title this season. Because if you have about 3 or 4 players, or even 5 that have this winning mentality, there's something about you being a champion. He puts you on a different pedestal, and you begin to think like a champion, whether you are sleeping or you are awake. There is this thought in you that I'm a champion. A king is always a king. You want to maintain that status quo. How many of the Arsenal players have that kind of aura? How many of the Arsenal players have that kind of thinking mentality up there in their head? I think it's the major reason rather, why Arsenal fell down to the firepower of Manchester City. But then, no disrespect to this Arsenal team for what they've been able to do for the past 2 years right now down the line. I think if not for Arsenal in the last 2 years, Manchester City should have won the league even before the half end of the season, looking at the point disparity to which they used to gap the likes of Liverpool, Aston Villa, Manchester United, or even Chelsea. So no disrespect to Arsenal, but then I think they need to do a lot. They need to do more other than being satisfied coming second. Nobody wants to know which team comes second at the end of it, because posterity doesn't remember who comes second, but who is the champion of any season. So Arsenal, for me, they need to do a lot.
Ipalibo, you think Arsenal lack the champions mentality as well?
I don't think so. You look at this Arsenal team and how they've been able to play. Even look at them last season and how they've been able to come back, from possible losses, and they've been able to turn that into victory. How they've been able to see games. A lot of people talked about how this team has not been able to win, against the top 6 teams. And going into this season, this team they were able to go unbeaten against the top 6 teams in England. Also broke their record for the highest win they have ever made, getting to win 28 games this season and having the fewest losses ever in their, the second fewest losses ever in their record. So you look at this Arsenal team and how they've been able to perform across the season. Looking at them in the calendar year of 2024, they've just lost 1 game and drawn 1 game, and the rest of those games have been wins for them. So I think Rodri coming out to say that is because he's on the other side of the divide, and I think that is very disrespectful to Arsenal, coming out to say they lack championship mentality because we were able to win the league. I think if the roles were switched, maybe Arsenal didn't lose that game to Aston Villa, he won't be saying this thing right now. So I think Rodri has made a very unsportsmanlike behavior. He has had a very unsportsmanlike behavior. This is not the first time he's making such statements. So him talking down on Arsenal, Manchester City had to fight for the league until the last day. I don't see that kind of mentality. I don't see a team that I don't see them facing a team that doesn't have its championship mentality. If Arsenal doesn't have a championship mentality, probably before the last day of the league, Arsenal would have given up, but they still fought for the league until the last minute of the Premier League 2023-2024 season. So him coming out to say that, I think, is a big disrespect to Arsenal as a club.
All right, so that's the situation of things. But City, of course, the champions for the 2023 and 2024 season of the English Premier League. And talking about City being champions, Michael, a lot of attention has been sealed to the manager. Talking about Pep Guardiola, everyone now seeing him to be one of the best managers in the English Premier League, and that's cause for education. Where do you think Pep Guardiola rank among the best Premier League managers in the Premier League?
For me, he ranks among the best of the managers that have also graced EPL. The likes of Sir Alex Ferguson, the likes of Arsene Wenger, the likes of Kenny Dalglish, the likes of Jose Mourinho, the likes of Ken Kingsley. I think he's up there among some of the best managers that have graced EPL, because this man have done a lot for himself. We are talking about the best manager that have graced EPL in particular, and of course winning 6 out of 7. No team, not even a coach, not even Wenger, not even as Alex Ferguson, during the time where they have the financial muscle to intimidate other clubs, they have never won it 6 out of 7 years. The highest they did was back to back, which is Sir Alex Ferguson winning it 3 times in a row, not even 4 times. So for me, this man is ranked among the best managers in the history, and he will go down in the archives or in the annal of EPL history out there as one of the greatest managers that have ever graced EPL because of his achievement within the shortest period of time that he has stayed. Don't forget the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson as Wenger. They've stayed for a couple of years. So if we are measuring the success that Pep Guardiola have achieved, then we also take a look, need to balance it with the number of years that coaches like Arsene Wenger, Sir Alex Ferguson stayed before they actually achieved that success. So for me, if he is winning 6 out of 7, invariably, it means that if he stays in the club for 20 years, you can be rest assured that he's going to lift it 15 times.
Ifalibo, what do you make of the progress of Pep at Manchester City?
First of all, I don't think things work like that, because if you're using that same analogy, probably Arsene Wenger should have up to 15 Premier League trophies, because in his first 6 to 7 years, he had up to 3 Premier League. So if you're going by the analogy you made, probably Arsene Wenger should finish with like 15 Premier League trophy. But that aside, you look at it, the difference, you look at the context, even the likes of Arsene Wenger and Pep Guardiola and Sir Alex Ferguson had their team. I mean, you're talking about Sir Alex Ferguson that took over a Manchester United team that had just come in from relegation. I mean, he guided that team when they were not the biggest club in England, when they did not have the biggest financial, when they did not have the best of financial powers. You look at the likes of Newcastle had the best of players, Liverpool had the best of players, Blackburn Rovers. There was also a Bolton team also there. So you look at all these teams involved, and you look at Arsene Wenger when he came to the Premier League, being the first foreign manager to win the Premier League. I mean, you look at all these things, the impact these coaches have had on their club, and you look at the quality of football as of then and as of now, and it tells you the quality of football has dropped grossly in the Premier League. So I think when you're comparing all these things, you look at it, Pep Guardiola has been a good coach, no doubt, but you can't compare him to the likes of Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger and the rest of those coaches he mentioned, because when you look at the quality of football 10 to 15 years ago and the quality of football now, you will agree with me that quality of football has dropped, and you cannot overlook the financial power of Pep Guardiola. He had that advantage over the likes of Arsene Wenger and Alex Ferguson. So for me, Pep Guardiola, yes, he's one of the great managers in the Premier League, but you cannot just rate him with the rest of Alex Ferguson, Arsene Wenger, and the rest of them.
All right, that's the opinion from the guys. It's been an impressive ride so far for Pep in the English Premier League. But taking a look at other results we saw over the weekend, Arsenal, of course, they beat Everton by 2-1. Brentford lost to Newcastle by 4-1. Brighton lost to Man United by 2-0. Burnley lost to Nottingham Forest by 2-1. Chelsea beats Bournemouth by 2-1. Crystal Palace beats Aston Villa by 5-0. And Liverpool beat Wolves by 2-0. Luton Town, they lost to Fulham by 4-2. Sheffield United lost to Tottenham by 3-0. But it's been an impressive ride in the German Bundesliga. I was saw another impressive run for Bayer Leverkusen as they continued their unbeaten run. They secured a 2-1 win over Augsburg. And this is making it about, I think, over 50 games now. They've been unbeaten at this point in time. They have the Europa Cup final as well as the DFB Cup final as well. Michael, what do you make of Bayer Leverkusen? You see them finishing the season unbeaten?
Yes, likely, most likely. Looking at the way they are going about it, even with 5 games to spare in the Bundesliga, they had won the league with 5 games to spare, but then they did not take their foot off the gas. They continue to press very hard to ensure that they continue to get a victory in the remaining 5 games. They were playing as though they have not won the league. So with such determination and dedication from the side of the Bayern Leverkusen player, it's quite evident that they want to finish the league undefeated, not just the league, but in Europe as well. So for me, I think they have what it takes, to keep the record for themselves.
But in the French League, Paris Saint-Germain beats Nice by 2-1, and that was the last game for Kylian Mbappe. What do you make of his departure at this time in the team?
Yeah, end of an era, for Mbappe, in that PSG side, he has a lot of memories with that PSG side. Ever since coming in from Monaco as a young boy, he was able to take up the mantle of leadership when they had the likes of Lionel Messi, Neymar in that team, was still able to be the leader in that team, and was able to break a lot of records, the highest goal scorer in that team. He did it in the space of close to 7 years. So I think Mbappe will retire, leaving PSG as one of the legends of that club. He has done a whole lot. Let's see what Luis Enrique can do without Mbappe in that PSG side.
All right, Le Havre, they lost to Marseille by 2-1 as Lille played to a draw against Nice. Lorient, they beat Clermont Foot by 5-0. Lyon, of course, beat Strasbourg by 2-1. And Metz lost to Paris Saint-Germain. 2-0 ended in that particular encounter. And of course, we saw Monaco beat Nets by 4-0. And also Lens played to a draw against Montpellier. Reims beat Rennes by 2-1. At this point, to call it a wrap on the show, and we can't go without telling you that Alexander Usyk, of course, yes, is a sport extraordinaire on today's edition of the show for taking down Tyson Fury and becoming the heavyweight undisputed champion of this generation. And for that, he's a sports show. Special thanks to Michael for doing justice on the show this evening.
Always a pleasure.
Palibo, nice having you.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow. 7 a.m. is the time where we'll make a return for sports talk. Do want to join us, as it promises to be an exciting time talking sports on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Kingsley Manuel. Thanks for watching.
Get ready as Morrison Communications Limited proudly presents Children's Day Celebration 2024.
Arts. La Small Hotel and Resorts, number 9, Room Calagbo off Waterlines, Basta, Port Harcourt.
On Saturday, May 25th, starting at 8 a.m., inter-school march past competition,
dance competition, drama competition. Parents, teachers, and children alike, don't miss out on the fun with Uncle Clown bouncing castle as we cut the Children's Day cake. Admission is just 2,000 naira per child. For participation and sponsorship opportunities, call us now 0806 673 8689
and 0810 634 1777.
This event is proudly sponsored by the Last Mall Hotel and Resort with Atlantic Television Network and 99.5 Wish FM Port Harcourt, Le Suka Event Center, Gate Place Hotel, 8 Ball Hotel and Lounge, Oma Studio, Osgia Table Water.
Remember that every child is unique. See you there. This event is managed by Pace Expressions Arts.
Special guest appearance, Hilda Dokubo, Children's Day Celebration 2024.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories,